All right, stocks are down. Some might even use maybe a different word for it. What do you think, Peter?
By no means is this an apoplectic sell-off.
It's not.
As last week's sell-off of 1,300 points was not either. It was smooth and orderly, in my opinion, right? Just let's not forget that the week before, 8 days prior, we'd hit a record high, right? So it's not a matter of where we're going, it's where we came from, right? So as we hit a record high 10 days ago, last week we saw a bunch of economic data, and I think we talked about it. It happened right after we had our interview, actually. I don't think you and I, our interview, had anything to do with the apoplectic 1,300-point sell-off.
That's two so far. We're going to go for three.
What happened was suddenly the market, and in the absence of other stuff to focus on, the market suddenly focused on normal economic data triggers, which are spiking in the yield, low rising interest rates, low unemployment, and fear of inflation to sell the market off. It seemed healthy, it seemed smooth, and it seemed orderly. And when you have such a apoplectic sell-off at such a short period of time, going down two days of down 1,400 points so quickly, what you tend to do is create this either a complete breakout of the bottom. We hit the bottom and then the bottom falls out of the bottom, or you get a bid in the market, and that's what we saw, right? We came back in, we had the catalyst we needed with earnings,
Yes.
and so that big sell-off of 1,400 points was right when we see markets that drift up, that go up with a fury, and we see markets that drift down or sell off hard. And when there's something apoplectically affecting the market,
And we're on 4, everyone.
reaction,
5.
which is big up and big down, you'll see the market retrace either way or rally back, catching a bid and building a foundation. Fundamentals haven't changed that much. Although, I think it's important to note, though, that even though the market is rebounding, a lot of stocks sold off a little more than the apoplectic reaction in the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the S&P. Stocks sold off much more than even those 1,300 numbers or the big sell or the 200-point move in the SPY. Okay?
I just want to let our viewers in on something that you got to give Peter Tuchman a lot of credit. Pumpkin spice. First of all, we had a little bet going on to see how many times Peter can use the word apoplectic. I think we're up to 6. And while we're not at a record today, Peter, that was quite the record.
My pleasure.
I don't know how you do it. And you sound, it flowed so nicely.
I didn't do that well in the SATs, let's be clear.
Yeah, right. Well, we might not be.
That's an SAT word.
Is it really?
No.
Well, you made me believe it. All right, Peter, we might not be reaching record highs today, but you know who is reaching a record high?
Who?
Canada, because they fully legalized weed today.
Everyone in Canada, smoke them if you got them, baby. A bong and a blintz. Let's talk about pot stocks for a minute. So pot stocks have had a while. So curiously, everyone knew for the last 2 weeks or number of months that pot was going to become legal in Canada. The stocks have been on fire, right? Tilray, CGC, a lot of these names. Why suddenly did 2 days ago, with the press really picking up on the fact that in 2 days it's going to be legal in Canada, the stocks took off like crazy. It was really one of these buy the rumor, sell the news things, even though the news has been disseminated for a while. Suddenly 2 days ago, CGC was up 8. This PYX, I believe, is another one that was up big. And then yesterday, the day before, and today they're getting sold off pretty hard. So it's buy the rumor, sell the news idea. I think it's an interesting sector. It's still a super risky sector. So, I think you're better off just going home and smoking a doob and not worrying about the market for a minute until it settles itself out.
And to make sure to not tell anyone you do that.
Right. Do not tell your tell your parents.
That would be very apoplectic of you.
You may get your father may have an apoplectic breakdown if he finds out you're in your bedroom smoking a doob.
Oh, man.
I think we better end this before it's not going to end well.
It's not going to end well.
Bye.
Thanks, Peter. That was I still can't even pronounce the word. Apoplectic? What does that even mean?